Hello and welcome to Ultimate Pool The Masters. It's the highlight show for week 11. Josh Kane and Arfan Dad are the two Ultimate Pool professionals in this group. Matthew Povey and Arron Preist are from the Challenger Series. In our second match, we'll see Arfan Dad taking on Arron Preist. But first up, Josh Kane takes on Matthew Povey. And the opening two frames were shared, and we join it in frame 3. Stephen Jameson and Gareth Potts on commentary.
Would have been fully aware, I'm sure. But being aware is very different to actually experiencing it out there. I can promise you that, because no matter how many times you tell somebody the way this table reacts, until you feel it for yourself, it's impossible to gauge how it plays.
Yeah, it really is. It plays different to any other table you've ever played on before. And it is important to get that first frame on the boards, especially after what happened in the first frame of the match as well, when he had first visit and passed up the chance. Just needs to keep Josh honest for as long as possible, because if Josh goes 2 or 3 frames in front, you get the sense that it's going to be a very long way back for Matt Povey. But if he, as you say, if you can just keep in the game as you reach towards the halfway point, you know, you're in the game then, and anything can happen in these time match formats, as we've seen many a time. And Matt Povey is the big underdog tonight. The other match coming up in this group is Arfan Dad, Ultimate Pool Pro. He's taking on Arron Preist, who, as it stands, will be an Ultimate Pool Pro. He's ranked 11th in the Challenger Series. Reached a final earlier on this year where he's beaten by Neil Britton. So 3 players who have all gone deep in Ultimate Pool competition, established names, as it were, this season especially. And Matt Povey comes in as the real rank outsider. Nothing to lose in that sense, but plenty to gain. And maybe a bit of a banana skin for Josh Kane. He's looking at these 3 yellows in the middle, and they're a little bit awkward. I think in playing that shot, he should just about have opened everything up.
Yeah, just might have taken these in the right order now. So the yellow that's in the middle of the table, yeah, I would take last. So that one there that the cue ball's closest to now is his last ball, and the reason that's his last ball is because he only has to just drop it in, leave the cue ball where that yellow is, and that is as good as you can be on the 8 ball. You see, he's just looking there now. Because he's leaving that one to last, he has absolutely nothing to do other than stop the cue ball where the yellow is. Very good patterns, Josh.
Yeah, lovely finish.
It is, and that's what we say, don't we, about players? Or, you know, they're tipped to do this and tipped to do that, and I sort of know how that pressure feels from a young age, of people saying that, well, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, but you still have to go out there and do it. And I think, in fairness to Josh, he was tipped of a lot of big things, and yes, he has won some big tournaments, a couple of big tournaments, but I have to be honest, I probably expected him to win more. He hasn't just maybe broke through as that promise was there. I mean, yes, he's 28, but it's not unbelievably young, so he does still have time. But you know, I think, to be honest, now's the time when he does have to start thinking about breaking through. And as I said, he's won some big events, but you know, he hasn't won one of the ultimate events, and he hasn't been in a final of one of the ultimate events. So someone that's as talented as he is, I'm sure he's looking to put that right. One thing I did notice on his profile there, and I was just about to say it from when I actually played him, is I noticed that his tip, as you can see, he's got a break cue there, but the tip on his playing cue
Tiny.
is unbelievably small. It's like a knitting needle, and on his profile there you saw that it was 7.1 mil. And I would say that that is probably the smallest tip on the tour, certainly from the professionals.
Certainly for the pros, yeah. I know there's a few challengers who have a nice small mill on the end of their cues, but yeah, certainly for the pros, I think Josh is about as small as it goes.
When you have Josh Kane against Shane Thompson, you have about 4 mil difference in tip size.
I think Shane Thompson could probably play with the butt of Josh's cue, to be honest with you. Matt looks comfortable, doesn't he? Just gone a fraction too far, just I say that.
Commentator's curse, he's just the table again, extra. See, just the puff of the cheeks tells you that that's just ran on an extra 2 inches further than he thought, and now he's got the angle that he's going to either have to hit the 8 ball or screw into the yellow. Oh, wait for it.
Oh, would you believe that? Wow, he says. Yeah, go on.
You all thought he'd miss that.
Well, he did. This would hurt. This is for 2-1. And that one was never in doubt. They always seem to go in after a fluke like that.
The next 4 frames were shared. Josh Kane has the break at 4-4.
And we are very, very excited to have him.
24 snooker ranking titles. Not too shabby, is it?
I mean, he's done so much in the game. It's that thing that gets banded around the snooker world an awful lot, is that class of 92 sort of thing. But, you know, they're still right up there. The likes of Mark, Ronnie, John Higgins, all the rest, they're still capable of winning major ranking titles. It is incredible.
I think that's the amazing thing, that the level that he's still playing at the age that he's at, and like you say, there's him and John Higgins and Ronnie that came through around the same sort of time, and the level that they're all playing at, still winning tournaments, still beating the so-called new breed of players.
Because I think what that speaks to more than anything, because ultimately pool's the same snooker. It's not something that you necessarily need a huge amount of physicality to play. You can, in theory, be as good as anyone at the age of 80 or at the age of 8. But what it does speak to is his mental work ethic is absolutely extraordinary. To stay at the level, to stay driven, and all the rest of it is amazing, really. Because I mean, I don't play snooker at any level, and I find it an incredibly maddening game. Let alone when you're playing at the top. I already think, you know, the top snooker players have some of the best sort of mentality of any sports people anywhere. In fact, he's been doing it for so many years and is still at the top level is incredible, really.
Yeah, and I think the most impressive thing for me is that they're still doing it, and they're still performing under the pressure. I personally think that that's one of the first things that goes as you start to get older. You don't perform as well under pressure as you perhaps did when you were, and they say in the Q sport world, in your absolute pomp is maybe late 20s, depending on when you started, of course. But certainly don't perform the same under pressure as you did when you were in your 20s or 30s. So, and some of the pressure situations, some of the balls and some of the breaks they have to knock in under extreme pressure to still be doing it to mid-40s, late 40s, even into the 50s is quite astonishing, to be honest.
Well, he's the second oldest world champion, I think, Mark Williams, and I mean, he's still in with a shout every year the world comes around. He's one of the big names. Current British Open champion.
Talking of being in with a shout,
Oh,
Matt
I tell you
Povey
what.
is in with a shout of winning this match, because
Reminds me of the performance Callum Kendall put in earlier on in this competition, where I think he played Shane Thompson, if memory serves. Right at the start of the Masters, he was absolutely awesome. Yeah, he did. 8-6 that one finished, and he was absolutely brilliant. Matt Povey's been at that same level, where he's matched one of the best players in the world, stride for stride, if not gone a little bit beyond him here with 15 minutes left, 5-4.
Took a little bit off that break. I don't know if it was intentionally or unintentionally, but he probably hit that with 60% of the power that certainly that he hit the previous break with.
Red balls in play.
Not the best of shots from Josh. Okay, he was using the rest, but Wanted to be straight on this one. He played on the one into this left centre. Wanted to be straight on it, and he's probably 8 inches short of pace there. So I'm going to top this long one in. Swing the cue ball around 2 rails.
Ooh, that's not come out too kind.
No, it hasn't, because he went 2 rails. He still did it 2 rails, but didn't plan on snicking the yellow on the way past, and he's bumped the yellow now in the path of the red. The red still pots, but it only pots in one pocket, and that's the left centre. Did pot on this bottom left corner before. These are now tricky.
Yeah, this is tough.
Played that with left-hand side. Made think, well, why would you play that with left-hand side? And the reason he played it with left-hand side is to get the full ball kiss on the yellow. Plain ball, the cue ball would have slid off it. So what he did was he manipulated the angle, played it with left-hand side and narrowed it. He'll take this.
Oh, this would be some finish.
He'll take this. He's on the one to the top right corner. He's not in off. As long as he doesn't hit it too hard, he's not an off. This is one of them where I think you just have to take your medicine, pot the ball, guarantee a shot on your last ball. Wow. I said he wasn't in off as long as he didn't hit it hard, and he hit it hard. So the harder you strike the cue ball, the wider it jumps.
Oh, this is a shot he's got to play now.
And that's something to bear in mind when you're playing positional shots. The harder you hit it, the wider it wants to come off. And had he have hit it any harder, he wasn't off. This is tough.
How'd you like these? How'd you like those? Oh, would you believe it? Would you believe it?
Yeah, it's unlucky, but he potted it into the middle of the pocket. So the natural path was flicking the 8 ball and going in off.
And that would cost Josh the frame and put him 2 frames behind.
Cue ball stays on the table, but that isn't going to be dry. It's a late roll in there, Josh Kane, and now he has to move.
Yeah, and these yellows are nice. He's bridging over the red for the first one, but providing he pots this first one into this right centre, he's away. He's not actually bridging, you see, with that 7. That's why that 7mm tip comes in handy, you see. Didn't need to bridge over it, could just get down the side of it.
I would say worth its weight in gold, but it can't weigh much. You see the noise, that indicates the 15-second shot clock has begun. Josh Kane has plenty of experience with it. Matt Povey has 0. Not sure he'll even play on a 30 before tonight, which makes his performance this evening even more impressive. But, I mean, 15 is rapid.
It is, and I was having this conversation with Christophe Lambert after qualifying for his group at the weekend in the Players' Championships. And I was saying to him that for me, it's the transition between that period of when it then goes to the 15-second shot clock and you've been in that comfort zone of the 30 seconds and all of a sudden, boom, it goes to 15. It is a real shock to the system. And I think it's caught everybody out at some point.
Josh also won the next with a reverse clearance and is breaking off at 6-6.
Iffy, that clock will quickly run. There's enough time for 4 dishes here, but it's whether you get one. It's whether you get one.
And these reds are nice. They all have a pocket. You just have to take them in the right order. Bit of a slug rack again. See the middle of the pack just didn't move. Ooh, well, he's got yellows. Not sure about that choice. Needs to pull up. Okay, he's going to probably have to play some sort of cannon, whether it be to the red in front of the 8-ball, whether it be to the 2 yellows together, whether he glances the red and then the yellows. Either way, the cue ball is going to have to hit something, and he isn't guaranteed to land on anything.
I'll take that, though.
Good news, bad news. Yeah, he's on an option of 2 yellows. The one he cannoned has landed glued to the side cushion. See, that was my point. When you're not used to it, that 5-second remaining blip, he's just smiling there. Feels like it comes after about 1.5 seconds. And it is a shock to the system.
He's digging here.
Yeah, I don't think he can get the finish now. Is he on the double? Can he avoid the double kiss? I don't think he can.
Not quite.
Yeah, I think he took the wrong balls. I think if he could have that back and have the 30-second shot clock back.
But that's the thing, isn't it? We think about the 15-second shot clock, and you just think of it about, you know, you think about it being on shots and, you know, seeing patterns and all the rest of it. You only get 15 seconds at the start of the frame to pick your colour set, and sometimes that's the most important decision of the entire frame.
It is the most important, and you're right. If there's 2 that you feel, or he just looked at yellows, you know, sometimes when you come to the table, your brain is just instantly drawn to one colour set.
Yeah, sometimes you see 3 or 4 little connections, you think, well, this is it. I've only got 15 seconds. I've got most of it. I'll figure out the rest. But
yeah,
I just wonder if that, and you're talking here minor error. I wonder if that will end up costing Matt Povey here. It'll certainly cost him this frame, or at least it should.
Josh won't play 2 rails this time. He's left the same sort of natural. He should definitely only play 1. Plays 2 again. Plays it better this time. Likes hitting them harder with check side.
Lovely stuff from Josh Kane, who for the first time in a little while leads Matt Povey. He's on the hill.
A tricky split in the next frame and a tactical battle allowed the clock to run down.
I think you have to just develop your balls. I like this shot. I like that shot. I'd have liked even more if that yellow would have dropped in, because it'd have been away.
He's almost making Josh Kane go and win it here. And
well, look,
it's not easy.
Look at where the reds have gone, and look where the yellows are now. Wow, he has a chance, and a big chance. This was what I was saying. He now has a big chance, because this yellow passes the red into the bottom right corner. The 8-ball also passes that red into the bottom right corner. And if he times it right, there'll be barely enough time for the decider.
4 shots to play, 15 seconds on each. He has the time.
Okay, so he's going to be taking it into this left centre now, his last ball. Just drift the cue ball across the table. He'll automatically be on it, but doesn't want to be bridging over the red.
He's going to be.
Ooh, that's horrible. He's coming around to look. The 8-ball does pass this red into the bottom right corner, but how well does he have to cue this? Because he needs topspin on it. Because he needs the cue ball to clear the 8-ball.
Good time to have an extension. This has got to go. Oh, and so is this next one. Oh, this is tough.
This is thin. This is thin, and he has 20 seconds.
This, for what will almost certainly be a 6-red shootout. It's close.
It's not there.
It's not there. That's how close Matt Povey came. And Josh Kane will be breathing a huge sigh of relief. What a match.
So on to our second match then, Arfan Dad versus Arron Preist. The opening 2 frames were shared and Arron has the break in frame 3.
Cool, that's the Arfan Dad break you were talking about. Ploughed that, but he's not had anything come off it. And that is the silent fume of a man who knows he should have got a ball off that break.
Yellow ball's in flag.
There's Chris Mallin.
Keithley's number 1.
Keithley's number 2. Come down to support one of his best muckers here, Arfan. Keithley number 1. Loves it when I say that to him. But yeah, from the same town of Keithley, so travelled down to his old mucker a bit of support, which is nice, of course.
Yeah, it's what we like to see, isn't it?
And I was just about to say before that Arron had one problem ball that didn't pot into any pocket, which was that yellow stuck to the back of the 8 ball. And he tried to go into it there. And he still has that problem because although he bumped it free, it isn't that easy to get on it. And it's definitely not that easy to get on it now. You see he's just pointing his cue, and he needs to get his cue ball anywhere onto the side. He'd love it anywhere where his arm or his hand is. You see how much check side he's putting on this, look. And what happens when you play with check side is before the cue ball gets to the object ball, it pushes in thick. And over that short space that there was between the cue ball and the object ball, it doesn't have time to come back. So it pushes in thick. Doesn't have time to play to
miss the pot by a mile, don't you?
You have to aim thinner, yeah. You have to aim it thinner and allow it to squirt in before it gets to it. And over that distance, of course, it doesn't have time to swing back in, hence why he missed it 2 inches thick.
Yeah, it raises the tariff of that shot by a long way. And Arfan here should be able to complete clean-up duty. And this is the danger. If all Arfan's got to do is let Arron get the decent way through his chances and not quite make it, it'll be a quick night for Arfan Dad, or at least in this match it will be. Because he won't miss many of these sorts of opportunities. If you're Arron Preist, you've got to try and make Arfan work a little bit harder.
Yeah, and Arfan's already cannon into balls when he doesn't need to. He hasn't quite got that cue ball under control yet. He needs to drop on it this time, surely. Yeah, and does, and plays that lovely.
Yeah, he's judged that perfectly, hasn't he?
Arfan, one of the few players that plays, looking at people's techniques and stances, he's one of the players that plays with both legs bent. Usually a right-handed play. If you see here, look, both of those legs bent.
Arfan won the next to make it 3-1 and has a chance to pull away further in the next frame.
Look where the 2 reds have just gone on the right-hand side of the table, but you get my point. Every time Arfan comes to the table, hasn't got a great deal of work to do.
Has he just got a shot to play here, though? Because if those two reds don't pass, then the other two are a little bit of a way away from them. I think the one lowest probably sneaks into the middle. It's difficult to tell.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to go. He's pulling back. Just drop it over the pocket, swing the cue ball around 2 cushions like that. Had to make sure you cover the gap, though. You don't want to leave a big pocket 1 cushion up and down. We were talking earlier about Arron playing shots where he was leaving 1 cushion escapes, and I think Arfan may have left Arron a 1 cushion escape here. And
yeah, it's a big pocket, that, isn't it? Arfan's just under-hit that a touch.
Yeah, he could play it 2 cushions as well and play it off the red that he's closest to, off the other red, so off 2 reds here. Not a bad effort. Ooh. Oh, it did drop. I was going to say, how has that not dropped?
Felt like it was your ooh that carried it in there.
Yeah.
He's a little unlucky there as Arron, but Arfan, at least, has done what he set out to do. And realistically, Arron knows that as soon as he let Arfan to the table in this situation, he was always massive odds against to lose the frame. Odds against to win the frame, I should say. So in that sense, not a huge surprise, but always still a little bit frustrating.
Play this as a 2-way positional shot. So played to get on the one next to the 8 ball, but if he's not on it, guaranteed to be on the other one. Ooh, has this gone?
I'm not sure what Arfan's tried to play there.
He played.
He's a long way over.
Yeah, he did. He played on it into the right centre, and he just caught the, because he was spinning it in with left-hand side, he just caught the pot too thin and generated too much power. He's still okay. He can just snick off it, bump the red next to the 8 ball and get distance, run the cue ball away to this right corner. Remember that there's no total snooker. You have to hit the cushion with either the cue ball or the object ball after contact. So there's no dropping off the back cushion dead weight onto the yellow here, which would be an almost gimme snooker. Can't play that shot, needs to hit it hard.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, he could actually get through.
That's amazing.
And you know what? I think he came round and lined that up, you know.
I mean, if Arron Preist has played that, that is an unbelievable shot.
Keep an eye on your social medias later, because that one's going to be on there. I think he come round and line this up.
Arron made it all square in the next frame, and we join him with a chance to go in front.
I like the nickname as it goes, the Vicar, but the one thing I would say is they don't work in tandem. Say if he's being introduced sort of, I don't know, sort of dart style, or he's played the other double there, that's a good shot. You know, dart style, UFC style maybe, Bruce Buffer giving him the big licks. You can't have Arron the Vicar Preist. That's nonsensical.
Especially not against the daddy.
I mean, the daddy dad is pushing it, but the Vicar Preist is almost as big a sin as that missed pot right there.
Yeah, it was a bad one. He'll be devastated with that.
And he's done all the hard work in the frame, all of it. He's made one really good double. He's played another one for good measure just to get good position. And I mean, that's a crazy miss. And a surprising one. Did not see that coming at all. As you watch Arfan dish these up, because these should be absolutely all gone here. I wanted to, whilst we've got you, Gareth, I wanted to ask you a little bit about a video you posted the other day, which forced me, and I'm sure many of our listeners, to watch it about 17 times to figure out what on earth you'd done. Which was that ridiculous trick shot you played with the sort of the fake double off the bottom rail to land it on top of a red and into the bottom corner pocket. How did that shot even come about?
You know, people ask me about, like, how do I think of, like the routines and some of the stuff that I do, and the answer is I honestly don't. I just have a few hours where I go in and think, okay, I'm going to film a bit of content for the social media, throw the balls on the table, stand there and just sort of just comes when I'm there and just have a little go at some different stuff. Some of the routines, of course, are pre-thought about, but a lot of the shots like that are not. I just sort of throw the balls on the table and have a little play around. And
the next 2 frames were shared. Arron breaks off in frame 10.
Back on the break. And that 1-2 is dry. Now it's his turn to wonder how.
Extension call. Yellow ball's in play.
Is this the moment where Arfan can seize the initiative and just take the game away? He's played a lovely angle there. Although, do all these get in each other's way? He's okay. Yeah, he's fine.
ooh, he just ran round to have a look. As he bumped the yellow into a place that it doesn't pot into this corner. Look, he's come around to have a look from this side. His body language tells me that it does go.
Maybe it doesn't. He's taking it on now. He's got away with that if that didn't go to the bottom left.
Yeah, he got away with one there. The fact that that still went in there, but
Everything just feels difficult for Arfan tonight.
He needs to play this with left-hand side, you see. And it wasn't easy to get to the... Yeah, everything's played that well, though. Okay, drifted inside the red and was able to leave a nice little angle on the one across the back cushion. But just checking that the 8 ball now goes into this left corner. Everything just, as you say, feels that... like pulling teeth at the minute a little bit for him. But it isn't always plain sailing. The balls don't always fall your way, and you don't always time the ball perfectly, and you don't always put the cue ball exactly where you want it. But he is about to go 6-4 ahead.
And 6-4 ahead he goes. I think both of them will come away from this match, whatever the result ends up being, and we'll think that.
Lost the cue ball to that same side again.
Golden duck!
Oh, golden duck.
Oh, wow.
Let's have a look for Daffy.
Wow, golden duck. Arfan Dad with an incredibly unlucky moment. He makes the 8 ball and makes the cue ball. Golden duck, these are so rare.
They are, but you know, I was saying he kept losing the cue ball to this left side, the right side as we look. His left side, he did it again.
Arfan has potted himself into trouble in the next frame.
Not to be. Well, well, well.
First thing that Arron looks at is yellow that's welded to the right middle pocket knuckle. Just had a look if there's a gap. Does it go? I don't think it does. I think that's got to be developed. Or if he can get flat to the side cushion, somewhere near where he's put that chalk. If he can get over there somewhere, maybe he can play it down the rail. And play it off this red. He's got a big pocket off this red. Of course, already missed ball and off ball into this bottom right corner once. Didn't play the pot. The reason he didn't play the pot is because, well, look where the cue ball was. If it goes in, he's dead.
It's a big risk.
It is, because he can kick this one rail, and he has. It's in.
Great shot, Arfan. What a shot that is. That's why it's a big risk. We've talked about it twice already this evening. That for a player of Arfan's level, even though he's been nowhere near his level tonight, Arfan, Dad. As well as Arfan can play, he's not been anywhere near it tonight. You can't leave him those sorts of shots. That's too easy.
And he definitely did leave him that, because had that yellow have gone in,
yeah, Arron's on nothing.
He was in more trouble than it was that he didn't. So he did play the pull back safety.
And that frame would be enough for Arfan Dad as he ran the clock down in the next frame to hang on for the win. On to our group final then, and it is the two ultimate pool professionals, Arfan Dad and Josh Kane. Arfan has the break in frame 1.
Might just be a little bit all over the place, because he's really had to scrap and claw there. Does he free up? Or does maybe? He continues on that run. He'll be hoping it's not the latter, that's for sure. These two have met in a big match before. The title that Arfan rather won last summer, the World Rules Pool Tour title. He won that in an 8-7 final against Josh Kane, in a match that really could have gone either way. Gareth Potts still with us on the comms for this one. And I mean, you'll occasionally know this feeling, I guess, but when you are straight in, after putting in a bit of a poor one, does it free you up, or is it quite difficult to sort of arrest the momentum?
I think it should free you up, because, as I said before, both of these guys should be sitting there going, it could have quite easily been on the way home by now. And everything's all perception, of course. It's how you perceive it. It's how you weigh it up in your own mind. But if it was me, I would definitely be trying to think the positive of this is I'm out there playing a final when I could have been on the motorway on the way home. So that does have to free you up when you think of it like that.
Well, already this has been a tidy visit to the table from Arfan Dad. And for all the frames he did win, we didn't have too many tidy visits to the table from him. At least not off the opening visit.
Bad errors in the next 3 frames from Josh Kane allowed Arfan to race into a 4-0 lead.
4 weeks' time, 10th of October, he's in the Pairs Cup, playing with Carl Morris.
And the fact he's joined the tour for the whole of next season is arguably the biggest news that there's ever been in the English 8-ball world.
Yeah, I think so. I do. I know I've had, likes of Mark Selby playing a couple of events for you. Mark Allen played in the Players' Championships. One-offs have happened quite a bit. This is a full commitment to play in every tournament. It's absolutely brilliant. And it will be really interesting to see how he gets on.
Flirting with the 8-ball there. He's already had one golden duck. Nearly had another one there. As it turns out, if he can pot this across the back cushion, he's away.
Well, he can't.
Couple of options. Can plant the red onto the yellow, which doesn't really get the cue ball in a good position from Josh's point of view, or this red on the top cushion here underneath his shoulder. He could screw off that one, screw across the back cushion, pot off on his yellow over the pocket, and that's what he's doing. Good shot.
Yeah, lovely. Is this the part where Josh Kane can get himself into the match? He's got a way to go.
I think there's a window between yellow and 8-ball up to the top left corner. You could probably pot that ball. There's another window to the top right corner, but it's not really the sort of finish that you want to be having to go for.
No, it is not.
4-0 down.
But does he have a choice?
No, he doesn't have a choice, and I think he'll get close to getting him. He only has one ball to break out, and he has a nice ball to break that out. It's just a matter of getting the cue ball in the right place, and that right place is just below the right centre, which is exactly there. Fantastic shot.
Josh Kane heating up. Had to happen eventually, you felt. Bit more like it.
When playing cannons, I always like to not just clatter into the ball, so work out where the cue ball's going to hit the object ball, where the object ball's going to go, where the cue ball's going to go.
And that was his big moment to win the frame, and it has not come out nice.
Does it still pass? It's close. It'll be his last ball, and he only needs to drop it in. The yellow's a bit awkward in getting straight on it. That yellow plays the size of a beach ball, really. Too thin. Looks up to the sky and shakes his head. That's too thin. But didn't want to be too far across the table and snookered himself behind the yellow, so aired on the side of too short, and he's got to check it in with right-hand side. Good shot. Plays on the double. Couldn't have put it better with his hand on the double.
This would be some out in the end if he can get out from here. Perfect. Oh, is it not quite going to drop? No. I thought that was sliding in all day, guys.
Yeah, played it soft, didn't he? And Arfan, I don't think he's quite seeing it quick enough, but pop the yellow into the top left corner, play the skill shot and screw back into bulk. Hopefully it goes in, you carry on. If it doesn't, he has no shot at the 8-ball. Yeah, that one there, top left corner, just top it through a little bit. Then play the skill shot as a free go. See, yeah, now he's seeing it. Just run it through a fraction too far. I mean, it's not too far to play the skill shot, of course, but it's too far to get the cue ball right back into bulk. So he's decided to just play the loss of turn. And I'm not sure about that shot, Arfan. He's left a two-cushion clip into the middle on the 8-ball. Yeah. I would never have let... Oh, wow. If he's left him to get past it with right-hand side, it's even worse.
Oh, wow. Crazy match we're watching here. It's been a bit of a war of attrition at times tonight.
And I think this is what we were talking about before with how good Josh can be. And then he's obviously capable of throwing one of these matches in between. And that's the problem with winning tournaments. It has to be that high level every single match, every single frame and every single shot, especially... Oh, Arfan misses another one. It's all going on in this frame.
This is crazy. Well, Josh essentially has a free go at this.
Well, it's now or never. He has to pot this if he has a chance of winning this match, in my opinion. If this goes in, okay. Might kick-start him back into this match. If he loses it, if he misses it, it's 5-0.
Not really all that close in the end. It's the pot. It's the sort of shot from a player when it gives away that he's really not feeling very confident. Because it's neither punched in nor stroked in. It's just a little bit jabby and just not really true. Arfan Dad's going to go 5-0 up.
Josh did manage to get a frame on the board in the next. Arfan now breaking off at 5-1 up.
Probably month, really, of all the Players' Championships, the Monday nights, even the Wednesday nights. I think that we've been treated to quite an unbelievable month of very, very high quality pool.
Are you saying we're getting a bit spoiled,
from
guys?
everyone? So I think when you have the odd match that isn't perhaps of the level that we've had over the last month, it's a little bit of a shock to the system.
I think it's a really fair point, actually.
Yellow balls in play.
I mean, because you're absolutely right. We have been spoiled in the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks in particular. Oh, that one's going to stay on the table from Arfan. Not the look of a man you'd think was 5-1 up.
No, there's not really anything to say about that shot other than just pure careless. Lack of concentration. He didn't miss it through pressure or the ball was pretty much over the pocket, just careless.
That's the one where you're tempted to give it a bit of the Mitchell and Webb, aren't you? Nothing else to say other than, oh, that's a bad miss. That's a good shot, mind. Josh, he's in decent shape here. Bottom of the table needs to solve, though.
Yeah, I'd love to get straight on this skill shot here. See, he's just looking, oh, he may come down 2 cushions and play on a choice there. He wants the cue ball there, but to get the cue ball straight onto that ball into the right centre from there, he's got to go side cushion, top cushion, other side cushion, and land on, well, on a pound coin.
Oh, he's nowhere near that in the end, but he's going to have a shot.
Yeah, but it's no good. He's looking at pot in the red, skimming off the 8 ball thin and getting that cue ball onto the left side cushion. Does the red double? Could you drop it in, bump the 8 ball, take your medicine and play the double? I think it does. Oh, but you can't bump it so the 8 ball doesn't go.
Yeah, that 8 ball now doesn't go to either of the bottom corner pockets. Been a long way off his best in this match, Josh Kane. Long way. Sometimes it's the hardest thing in the world. It's the hardest thing in this sport for sure, is to play consistently to a level. That's why we look at those players at the top of the Ultimate Pool rankings. Like Mick Hill won 3 events in back-to-back weekends. I know yourself are up there, I think top 4, Gaz, multiple finals. It's the hardest thing to do in this sport, is to find consistency. Sometimes it's not always about playing brilliantly, it's about finding the way to win, and Arfan Dad should be doing just that, but he's played a shocker there. He's Arfan Dad about to fumble the bag. It's the cut. And it's short.
I'm not sure what to say anymore, to be honest.
I don't think Arfan is.
I daren't call a shot, because everything I say, they play the opposite. Wow. Okay, he's missed another ball, but this time it's foul awkward for Arfan, because I don't think he can play the double, and I don't think he can play the cross double. But you can play the snooker.
Which is what he has. I'm not sure he's played it all that well. Especially as a lefty, this is I'd say it's a fairly makeable shot for Josh. Yeah.
But the way they've been playing, the question you have to ask is, did he want the red in?
Doesn't make the cross double. Is he going to leave it awkward? Awkward enough.
This is like the end of a killer game down the pub, isn't it?
It's almost like the back end of a darts match where both players are on double one. I mean, this is amazing. 10 minutes left, 15-second shot clock just to add to the fun. And just to be clear, I say fun, neither player is having fun right now. Even Arfan Dad, who somehow will be thinking is about to go 6-1 in front. Josh Kane going for the cut break, desperate times. Call for desperate measures. Got that 8-ball moving, but also got the cue ball moving straight into the bag.
Extension called. Foul.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is extraordinary, really.
So, I was explaining the rules before about,
I mean,
when you have ball in hand
just amazing.
from the break, when your opponent goes an off, it is only ball in hand behind the line. Arfan thought it was ball in hand anywhere on the table.
I mean, that just shows, I think, that no matter your level, these two have both won big tour events as recently as last year. Ultimate Pool Professionals, two of the best players in the world. But sometimes when you are in the melting pot, your head can just spin off. Josh Kane gets a frame on the boards.
A quick reverse clearance from Josh Kane pulled another frame back, but Arfan responded with one of his own and is now breaking off 1 frame away from victory.
Well, Arfan Dad, they're breaking for the match. 5 minutes left in it. Can he complete the job? Oh, we saw what Arfan's break can be once in his first match of the evening, and he's not really come close to repeating it for the rest of the night, which is so strange. Because I know Arfan's a player who puts a lot of time into the game and all the rest of it. So, you know, the break's something that you can lose, I guess, if you're not playing regularly. You sort of lose the timing, but I can't imagine that would be the case for him. Really, it's such a strange one.
He's going to have to cannon into the 8-ball and the red here. Played it nice. I think this red passes the 8-ball into the right centre, and if it does, I'm going to stick my neck out and say Arfan's going to clear up here.
Can't believe we've got to this stage in the match, and that's a brave shout. But surely. Arfan Dad then for the match. Has done it. 8-3, the victory over Josh Kane.
So it's Arfan Dad that goes through to the next stage of the competition. If you'd like to watch this night back all the way through, then you can. It is on ultimatepool.tv. Or if you're looking forward to next week's group, you don't have to wait very long, because Wednesday night at 6:30, we have Group 12 from Ultimate Pool, the Masters. Aaron Davies is the Ultimate Pool Pro and will be favourite for this group. Up against him, Bash Maksud, Mark Williams and Cleve Thompson. Make sure you join us for that one, and I'll be back next week for another roundup of all the action.